What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my dog, Martin Skirtis, for coming through and boosting up the coins. So, my doggy, Jaron Ennis came through and boosh your man, the YB's coins up. You best believe it. You best believe it, man. The pagans can't keep a light skin nick down. That's what you best believe. Here we go. Here's the receipts, folks. I put a wanna. Bah. I thought the odds were wide. You put a oneer on, yeah, you get 30 quid back. That seemed wide for me. I thought this was going to be a 100 down, you win a tenner. That's what I thought it was going to be. The fact it was 30 bucks, it was worth having a look. Stanionis, listen, hand stuck on your head, straight up and down, that gets you to a certain level. Yeah, that gets you to a certain level. To a pretty high level it can carry you to. Now, to be fair, people like Canelo have been able to take that style, mix in a few extras, but Canelo's got probably pound for pound power. He's quick as well with his power. So you need, if you're going to have your hand stuck on your head, you need some, to make it to the actual pinnacle, to be an undisputed champion or a unified champion, you've got to have hand stuck here and then an extra flair, like some speed or some power, or, do you know what I mean? Stanionis, straight up and down, top B-level fighter is what you'd say, if that makes sense. No disrespect to him, but that's what it is. He's solid in all areas. Nothing you wouldn't be able to put on a pound for pound ranking in any skill set. If you were to rank all fighters in a pound for pound skill set, Stanionis probably wouldn't even chop into the top 20 in anything. He's one good skill is he's tight. He's tight. He has a bit of head movement, but again, you'd be lucky to break into the top 20 with that. Even within the guard space. Yeah? Stanionis, straight up and down. Feet are a bit too slow. And if Ennis, the reason I put the oneer on, I thought, if Ennis is any good at all, he should be, he's quick. He's got too much speed. He's too calm in there. He's not like Floyd. He's not a pot shotter. He will touch you. At the same time, though, he's been critiqued before. I ain't gonna lie, I might have slagged him off myself, to tell the truth. I might have slagged him off. You know, the thing is, you can't win in this game. If you pot shot like Floyd and get hit less, people say it's boring. If you throw combinations and put 5 or 6 shots together and they catch you in between, people say, oh, you're leaky deaky. The bottom line is, though, with Boots, he is a phenomenon. I've got to be honest. Now, he ain't been tested yet, and he's a big old nick as well. He need to go up to 154, really. Although that's not my advice, but still, I think he should unify. Next, there's a bunch of bums at 147. A bunch of bums at 147, man. You got Mario Barrios. I swear I didn't... Where I'm looking at the rankings here. There's 2 more belts to collect. He's now Ring Magazine, IBF, and something else champion. The one he just won from Stanionis. Brian Norman Jr., I haven't seen him, to be fair, but he ain't going to do nothing. How about that? That fight was supposed to happen. Norman was being a diva. Mario Barrios. I swear, let's have a look at Mario Barrios quickly. Now, again, Mario Barrios, straight up and down, hand stuck on his head. Boots, that's easy work for Boots. So he might as well, for the accolade of undisputed, Boots could easily go on to be 3 times undisputed. Realistically speaking. He could go 160's full of bums. Right, let's call it spare spade. 160's full of bums. 154? Who's at 154, man? Virgil Ortiz again. Virgil Ortiz is another level above Stanionis. I think Ortiz is quicker and he's a bit smarter. His head movement's a bit more consistent. He's quicker. Yeah, but still, it's a harder fight for Boots. But listen, what's that cat's name called? The one that Virgil Ortiz just fought. That herky-jerky dude. Ortiz won that fight. Some people thought it was close, though. My point is, if you're coming wading forward and you're making a meal of it with that herky-jerky dude, I've got his name, the one that Crawford fought as well, Madrimov, that's it. If you're making a meal of it, Boots are going to be slapping you, and it's going to be a long night for Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz doesn't have potentially what Canelo has, which is the one punch. Known power. He'll whack you on your arm with a left hook and he's got everyone shook. Ortiz don't really have that. Same as Stanionis. That's what you'll need. Who knows? Boots might box up someone like Canelo even, but throughout Canelo's career, that's been the defining factor. No, not in here. Fucking nuts, man. See what I mean? It's like it's fucking hell. Fuck my flow up now. Where was I? Yeah, you need. I think you're gonna need. So far, he hasn't had no problems with no one's power. Not that he's fought a whole bunch of pound for pound power guys, but forget about Barrios. Barrios can't punch for nothing. Ortiz still question mark. So the point is, there's scope here for Boots, but in the meantime, there's no. Clearly, people were saying, "Oh, his weight drained. He need to go up." Then he comes in as his best performance against his highest ranked opponent, his hardest ranked opponent. So if I was him, I'd stay at 147, clean up these belts, go undisputed. By then, he'll be ready to go to 154. And at that point, 154 seems a bit all over the place. I don't know who's doing what. I think Crawford's nicked a belt somewhere. I don't know who's doing anything at them weights, to be fair. So that hopefully by then, another 6 months, a year from now, 154 will have some clear 1 or 2 guys. You don't really want to be having 4 fights for undisputed. You want to really do 2, ideally, right? You want a few people to have a few belts and then take them out. Otherwise, it takes too much time. If you've got to do 4 fights, that's like 2 years. That said, though, what I will say, if he is going to stay at 147, this guy's fighting. I mean, we understand that it's the. What's it called? We understand that. The period between fights is now generically 6 months, but this was like a glorified sparring session for Boots. Yes, fair play to Stanionis. He got a few. Stanionis landed a few shots, but Boots will get. People will land a few shots on Boots in sparring. I didn't see nothing here that he needs 6 months off for, to be honest. He's young now. We know the kind of smaller guys, they tend to peak a bit earlier. He's 27, 28. Don't waste a bunch of time in your career when you're having these kind of wins. And it's not like, oh, well, YB, there's a bunch of killers lined up. He should be doing I'm being funny. From what I see here from Boots, he could do a bum of the month campaign for these next 2 fights. For Norman and Barrios. This could be a bum of the month campaign. Get Barrios in there in 3 months from now. Yeah? Because you're only young once. That's the thing here. Once you're 34, you really do need to maybe think about slowing down and fighting once a year or once every 2 years kind of thing. Now, easy fight, not a bunch of damage. Get in there, have a go on Barrios. What's he going to do? Barrios will do nothing, man. I like Barrios, but he'll do nothing. Straight up and down. He won't do nothing in there. Boots will play with him. Norman, he's foot bums. To tell the truth, man. Let's have a look at Norman's resume quickly. He shit himself last time as well. He didn't want to smoke with Boots, man. Boots too good. And what Boots does better... people talk about Floyd, yeah. Floyd, he stunk the place out. If we're honest, this calibre of opponent... What's his name again? Stanionis. Stanionis is as good, if not better than, Robert Garcia. Is it Robert Garcia? Ruben Guerrero. Robert Guerrero. Remember that fight? And Andre Berto. Stanionis is as good as Berto Guerrero. And Floyd made a meal of them fights. Stinkers. Yeah, he won every round kind of thing, but it's like, well done. You're pot shotting. Boots will go in there and tear their ass up. That's what I rate about Boots. And I can't remember. I've probably criticised him. Oh, he leaky deaky. Oh, he gets hit too much. But on hindsight, yeah. Be under no illusion here. Boots could have gone in there tonight, stuck on his Floyd Mayweather BS, and stunk the place out for 12 rounds and won every round and never been hit once. He could have done that for sure. The fact he'd rather take a shot here or there to land 4 or 5 and get someone out of there in more or less the first half of the fight, I salute that. And really, Boots looked to me like he was warming up. He didn't even look like he started yet. And he said that. He said, listen, man, I was just fixing to get going. So this guy's a phenomenon so far, albeit in defence of Floyd. Floyd had a red hot start to his career. A lot of these new age man now. Floyd was the best at the start of his career and then faffed around for the last half of his career. The new age man, they tend to start really slow. You don't get the super fights early and then it builds. So we won't really know. I'm not going to come on in line. I've already said Stanionis, he came to fight. His team threw the towel in. He didn't protest it. Should he have? He was going to get knocked out, man. He was going to get stopped to the body, or he was going to get knocked out. That's what was going to happen. Is it right or is it wrong? Should he travel to Valhalla? Whatever. It's not the point. You weren't never going to get looking edgeways, man. He weren't never. He tried. He was plodding forward, doing what he could. There's levels, is what we saw here. There was levels. What was I going to say about that as well? I can't remember now. Anyway, let's have a look at Norman. Who's Norman? Oh man, I never heard of none of these guys. Oh, he's knocking some 4 stars out. Who are these 4 stars though? How did you get 4 stars? Oh, this is a 3-star cat here. Never heard of him. There's not even half a name on here, man. The £147 division is wide open. Giovanni Santillan. What's going on here? Brian Norman again. He ain't fought no one. So I'd have to look at Brian Norman's skills, but it'll be food for Boots. It'll be food. I think it'll be fish food for Boots. That's what I think will happen here. Fish food. That's what it'll be. Barrios. Yeah, Tank Davis knock his out. Come on, man. Barrios ain't doing nothing, man. Little Tank Davis, who don't ever want to go up in weight. He was like £130 at the time. He jumped up to 140 and knocked this guy out. It was late though, but still. I like Barrios. He's done well to nick a belt somewhere. But let's call a spade here. Let's call a spade. He ain't got nothing Boots. So Boots, don't hang around. Because what Boots will do is he'll hang around and we'll be sitting here a year from now and he will have fought maybe one of these, man. And he'll be 42 before he gets in there to 154. There's scope for Boots. He's big enough. He's a big old dude. Big old dude, man. He looked massive in there with Stanionis. He looked huge in there with Stanionis. He can go to 160. 3-time undisputed on the table right now. And there's nothing really coming up. Who's coming up? Who's going to do anything? Who would you say? Although 160 isn't completely sweet, to be fair. I'm thinking about it now. Sorry, I've slagged off 160. That's not true. You got Carlos Adames. He's tricky. Hamza Shiraz showed that he tricky with it. Yeah, he ain't a punk. Carlos Adames ain't a punk. He ain't no new age. He on the Fidel Castro Che Guevara war tip. That's what he on. He ain't playing with your ass. Yeah. Adames is good, and Janibek McMooley. Both of them dudes are dangerous. Well, McMooley is particularly dangerous in terms of the punch, but Adames is a hard night's work. He ain't gonna roll over and have his belly tickled like these new age Western fighters. That's what he's not gonna do. Okay, so 160 is something there. 154. Let's have a quick look. But listen, the underlying point is, man, you don't need to hang around for 2 years fighting 2 bums. This ain't that. Oh well, YB. There's a Canelo at, like, Boots has got to fight a Canelo next, and then fight a Beterbiev after that, where it might make some sense to take some time off. You're going in there having fun. You should be. You only really need time off when you've had a really hard fight. If you're in there and you're having a sparring session and you're saying, "Oh, just getting warmed up," what are we waiting for? Seriously, waiting for what? I can't understand that mentality. No other sports do that. No other sports, like, I don't know. Yes, you can argue, well, YB, it's physical. Okay, it's physical, but you didn't take physical matters. Taking time off, YB, but you can know it's not football. You can't fight every week. Yeah, you can't if you're not. You can't if you're not. People, when Mike Tyson was going in there and bowling people over in one round, he could fight every week. There's nothing inherently stopping you fight every week. For example, it's only when you're going live and death. Now, did Boots get hit a few pot shots? No doubt. Should he have a month off? Sorry, not a month off, but should he have 2 weeks off, a week off? Fine. But have a week or 2 off and get back into camp. Fighting every 3 or 4 months. When you're having these type of fights, I can't see an argument against it. Sorry, I just can't justify it. To spend your best days, I don't know what they're doing. This is when you run with it, and the thing is, with genetics and whatever else, and environmental factors, we never actually know when our peak is. Just because the average may be, I don't know, these days, 30, 32? For all you know, yours could be, your body clock could be 28. You could be at your best now. And you're sitting there thinking, well, I got till 40. Oops, not everyone will have till 40. Some people, you notice that they start falling off a cliff when they get to certain ages. Even Triple G wasn't that old, I don't believe. But once he got to 36-ish, he was over it. Yeah? He was over it. Over his best, certainly. So why when you're having easy fights? Plus making money, man. When you're fighting, you're making money. Get in, get out. And the thing about Boots is he's always training too. So it's not like he's doing a Prince Nassim or a Ricky Hatton where he's just dirty bulking. From what I understand about Boots, he's a bit like Floyd. When he's not got a fight booked, he's still in the gym. So I'm thinking, you might as well get paid to be in the gym for these type of fights. It's not like you're going to need a whole bunch of planning to sort out a Mario Barrios fight, right? You're not going to need to sit there strategizing and working a whole bunch of new to prepare for Mario Barrios. The little 130-pound Tank Davis finished. That's not throwing shade on Barrios, but let's call it. But come on, man, there's levels to this. He'll be way too big. Boots will be way too big, way too quick, way too powerful, way too IQ-y with it. He can go on the inside, he can go on the outside, he can whoop the whole lot. The real full package. It's not exactly like the old school. It's not exactly like no two fighters are the same, but it's not exactly like Floyd, the start of Floyd. I think to some extent it's more interesting though. To be honest, I think he's probably more interesting than even Floyd at his prime. If I'm honest, but we just need to see the competition now. High competition, i.e., which he's not going to find to 154 or 160, or volume. Get these bum of the months out of there. Don't string these out for 9 months. Oh, well, come on. It's frustrating seeing people waste their best. What am I looking at now? I want to look at who are the champions here. So the Ring Magazine's vacant. Crawford's champion. Ortiz is champion we'll dream of. Murtaza Aliyev. Oh yeah, Murtaza Aliyev, he with it. Murtaza. No, there's not a bunch of bums there to be fair. Murtaza Aliyev ain't playing with your ass. But I think again, Murtaza Aliyev is good with Tim Tszyu. I've got. Yeah, bottom line is a better competition at 154. So clean up, and even Bochuk. Bochuk ain't no punk, man. Bochuk, there's some serious people at 154. There's some serious individuals. That's a proper weight class. 147's whack. A few years ago, 5 years ago, when it was like Sean Porter, Kell Brook, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, and then Crawford was coming up there. 147 was a division. Since then, man, have moved on. 147's washed. There's a bunch of B-level 140 pounders and 135 pounders up there. That's what we're observing. So clean it up quick. Is it possible? I don't like to say this, but is it possible Boots is thinking, well, I like hanging down here with these bums. It can be addictive when you're going into fights you know you're going to win for sure. So you don't want to go in there and have bum and month campaign and then have to move up. It's kind of like, well, I'm enjoying clowning on these fools. But I'd like to think that Bootsy, I don't get them vibes from him like he likes fighting bums. I don't get them vibes from him, but who knows? If it's taking 6-7 months to have these kind of fights, we understand that's the generic way of doing things now, but why? It makes no sense to me. Phenomenal skills. Use them. Don't sit and wait for them. Don't sit and wait for your knees and your back to start blowing out. That's what these men be doing these times. They're waiting for their knees to go. That's what you're basically telling me. Oh, well, I'm 28 and I'm waiting for my knees to go, so now I can't fight. I can't be my best. I'm waiting for my hands to break down, because then that'll be good. So yeah, good showing from Boots. I'm not sure what else to say, people. Conor Hearn, that's one last thing I'll say. Massa Hearns, who manages or promotes Boots, he wants to do back. Everyone knows Barrios is arguably the weak link at 147, and Hearn's like, yeah, well, Eubank and Conor Hearn and Barrios. So is it possible Hearn's going to try and structure it? I guess Hearn's got 2 fights though, so he's probably out of the mix at 147 for the foreseeable future. So maybe not. But is that what Eddie Hearn's trying to hold back? Is he trying to hold back Barrios from Boots so that hopefully he's still sitting there a year from now? So Conor Hearn versus Barrios. I'd go with Barrios based on resume, but that's a winnable fight for Ben. Betting on his best night, I can see him winning that. Yeah, he's got a chance in that fight. Anyway, salute to Boots Ennis, man. You got my $30 in. You did what you're supposed to do, man. Too quick, too big, too strong. Now I just want to see more of this guy, and I've said it a million times already, but I want to see more of this guy, and at a higher level, because this one is still missing something for me, if that makes sense. This fight itself, I'm seeing someone who's up there pound for pound wise in skills, but it's almost like, okay, there's a reason if I'm putting £100 in a fight, that's because I know he's going to win. Obviously not get bumped sometimes, but you get the point. It's not. I want to see fights where I'm sitting there thinking, whew, do you know what I'm saying? Ooh, who knows what's going to happen here? And I think you'll find that 154 to 147 pounders, man. I don't think so. And Boots himself said, when I'm in there with When I'm going into a live opponent, I'm red hot, which is what we saw. When he was going in there with that Fafa, Karen Chakuzian, it doesn't turn him on. So go up. Or have a bum of the month. Bum of the month at 147 or move up. Either way, salute to Boots Ennis, salute to Stanionis as well. He did his best. And I think in the corner, Stanionis said, he goes, it's good. It's too good and too quick, man, bottom line. There's not much you can do with that, to be fair. It looked like he was bringing a spoon to a knife fight. That's how it looked to me. But he did bring the spoon, at least. He didn't cack his pants and jump out the ropes like that light-skinned clown, Ben Whittaker. He came to fight, he took his licks, and he retired in the corner. I think it is what it is. I'm not going to judge him for it. He was going to get knocked out cold, man. He was going to get knocked out cold. One thing I will say is, though, with the UFC, man, to be fair to them, it's interesting. You don't see no retirements, not that I've watched all of the UFC fights, but you don't see many retirements in the UFC. They tend to go out sparko. So that's something to maybe think about. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, like with the bell, 100%. No doubt about this one, people. Stop it. Bosh.